along to your gentle practice. Just make yourself nice and comfortable. Close your eyes down and let your back body soften into the mat, just laying back. Tuning in to the rise and fall of your breath. Scan of your body from head to toe and check in and see if there's anywhere that you're carrying any tension, tightness, or even if there's anywhere in the body that you might be looking after a mobility restriction or perhaps an injury. Then we're going to do 3 nice big deep clearing breaths, thinking about clearing away any more tension in the body. So we're actually going to tense up the hands and the toes as we breathe in. So scrunch your toes and clench your fists, breathing in, and then exhale out through your mouth, let it go. So release the hands, release the feet, maybe wriggle the fingers and toes. Let's go again. Breathe in, squeeze. Breathe out, release. Wriggling fingers and toes. One more time. Inhale, squeeze, clench your fists, scrunch your toes, maybe even clench your jaw. And then exhale, release. As that tension melts away from your hands and your feet, see if you can allow the body to relax into the mat. Imagining any tension in the body melting away as you lay back. Then you're going to take an interlace of the hands. As you breathe in, reach your arms up towards the ceiling and then over the back of your head, and you can turn your palms away from you so you get a little shoulder stretch. Maybe even if you have a bolster under the head, lift off. Then we're going to slide the feet in, lift the hips up and place the bolster in underneath your lower back. Once you've got the bolster underneath your lower back, you just let your arms flop back out to the side. And then we're just going to do a really gentle windshield wiper of the knees side to side. And as you windshield wiper, you just want to make sure that there's no tension or tightness or pinching in the lower back. So there can be resistance. You can feel that there's a little bit of resistance in the body, but just avoiding anything that feels like pinching or pins and needles. And if you do find that sensation, just go a little bit gentler with your movement, or adjust where the bolster is sitting in the body. Then we'll come back to neutral. We're going to lift the feet away from the mat and kick them up towards the ceiling. Your legs don't have to be completely straight. You can have a little bend in the knees. Arms are just flopped out to the side, back of the head nice and heavy. Grounded into the mat or a second bolster if you're using one. Then feel free, if you like, to just gently sway your legs side to side this time instead of the windshield wiper. Same deal, no pins and needles or pinching in the lower back. If you do find that sensation, soften your knees even more to release the lower back. move through your practice today, imagine your in-breath being that way of locating if there's any tension in your body, and your out-breath being that release where you let it go. And you can perhaps think about breathing in relaxation, and then breathing out that release that will allow you to relax even more. So this gentle practice becomes like a moving meditation where you have a chance to have a mini meditation in each pose or sequence. By the end, you've moved your body in a nice gentle way, opened up and created space and mobility in the body, but at the same time you've created space for the mind, or clarity for the mind. And that can just be as simple as focusing on the breath. Bring your awareness back to your breath. This time as an indicator to your body that you're about to move. And then all we're going to do is bend the knees even more and drop your knees down towards your chest. Then catch hold of your shins, so just below the knees, right hand on the right leg, left hand on the left. And then you can just draw some nice slow circles with the knees. So bring the knees together, circle them in towards you, and then out and around away from you. Now it's like you're massaging your thigh bone into your hip socket. You might also feel this around the lower back that's grounded on the bolster. Then we'll pause, let go of the left knee, catch hold of your right ankle, and you're going to hook your right ankle over your left thigh, creating a figure 4 shape. You can either stay here, just holding on to that right leg, or thread your right arm through your legs and your left arm around the outside of the left leg. And you can either hold the hamstring, or if you can reach and it feels okay, to hold the shin, which will give you a bit of a quad stretch and maybe put a little bit of resistance into the knee. You can go for the shin. Then again, we're going to hold this pose for a couple of minutes. A few minutes. So settle back into your breath. Notice the sensation of the posture. This one we're looking for a resistance in the outside of your right hip and thigh, so glute med and your IT band. Similar to when we're doing pigeon pose or deer pose. Only when you're over on your back, you've got more control of the sensation because you're creating it by using your arms to catch the legs rather than using your upper body to drape over the legs like you would in, say, pigeon. about finding a sweet spot when you come into poses throughout this practice. So it's not too strong, it's not too soft, it's that Goldilocks pose that feels just right. Just enough that you're opening the body up, not too much that you're creating any tension or tightness. Or even shaking in the muscles. If you're like me and get distracted easily, a great way to come back to your body and your mind is to come back to focusing on your breath. So maybe you're whispering inhale to yourself as you breathe in and exhale as you breathe out. Or relax as you breathe in and release as you breathe out, whatever resonates with you. Back up towards the ceiling and back to your inversion. Let your arms just flop out to the side. You can take a sway of your legs side to side if that feels good. Circle of your knees again. You can go the same direction that you did last time, or maybe you go the opposite. Doesn't matter as long as you just feel the thigh bone massaging the hip sockets, that ball and socket joint that has all that rotation capacity. Release the right leg, grab hold of the left foot and hook your left ankle over your right thigh. You can stay there just holding on to the leg if you like, or thread your left arm through the triangle shape of your legs, right hand around the outside to either catch the shin or the hamstring, up to you what you want. To add on that little bit of quad and resistance in the knee. yourself as a practice. And be mindful, be more aware of what you're up to. Kick the feet back up towards the ceiling, let your arms flop out to the side. And you can take another little sway of your legs side to side here if that feels good. Feet gently down onto the ground, lift your hips up and take the bolster out from underneath your lower back. And you can take it out to whatever side you want to curl over to, and maybe curl over and cuddle the bolster in. Just laying inside for a moment. Then use your top hand to press yourself up into a seat. Then swing the legs around to the back of the mat. You're going to come into child's pose. You can bring the bolster out in front of your knees to bring your forearms and forehead down onto the bolster. If you have a second or a blanket or a pillow or something, you can pop the second bolster between your heels and your hips. The other option with the front bolster is to wedge it between your knees and have it vertical. And then you can cuddle it in. Just feeling the fold at the knee crease now. So hopefully there is a little bit of resistance in the knees. The fold at the hips, feeling that compression into the hips. already. Just going to slowly lift up. Bring your bolster forward so that you can bring your ribs down onto the bolster for a supported back bend, Sphinx pose. So ribs on, forearms over the front. You can bring a block with you to rest your forehead on if you like. You can have your elbows stacked in underneath your shoulders. You can squeeze the bolster in using your elbows. Forearms parallel, or the hands can come in a little. So you make more of a triangle shape with your arms, the bolster, and your hands will be the top of the triangle. Or you might use your hands to hold on to the block. Just make sure that you're not squeezing your bum to push your hips down into the mat. You want to release the glutes and let the hips just soften into the mat gently on their own. Even if you want to give your hips a little wiggle here. Make sure you're not carrying any tension in the lower back and there's no pins and needles or pinching. If there is, it's all good. You just adjust until there is and find that sweet spot. Not too strong, not too soft. That's Goldilocks position. That feels just right. Shoulders, we're going to lay down on the belly. So if you're using a back bolster, you can pop that to the back right corner of your mat. So it's running along the outer edge of the mat. If you're using an upper body bolster, you can pop that to the top left. Then we'll go right hand out to the side with your palm facing down, palm in line with your shoulder. Turn your head to the left, roll across to the right so that you're getting a stretch into your chest and shoulder. If you've got the lower body bolster, you can drape your left leg over it. If you've got the upper body, you can pull it in and use it like a pillow. adjust your bolster or bolsters so that you can lay back down onto your belly and bring your arms down by your side. Maybe even give your hips a little wiggle between your hands in a forward-facing Shavasana, so your body is forward-facing but your head can be turned to the right or the left. We'll spot for the other side. So if you're using one bolster, flip it over to the other side or roll it over. If you're using two, you can just adjust so the lower body one's down by your left leg and your upper body one's up by your right shoulder. And then we'll go left hand out to the side with the palm facing down. Turn your head to the right, roll across, and you can pull the other bolster in. Upper body as a pillow. time if you like, move the bolster in underneath you, so that when you flex forwards, you can kind of curl around the bolster. nicely. Let's come up to all fours. Slide a bolster forward so that you can use it for hip open up. You're going to bring the right knee forward behind the right wrist. So you can either do pigeon pose or deer pose. If you're doing deer pose, sit to the side and bend your back knee. And then we're going to bring the bolster to track along the shin. And then drop down over it. You can always wedge your block in underneath the front of the bolster if you want to bring it up higher towards you. If you are doing pigeon and you want to pop a block in underneath your hip or hamstring, you can place a block underneath there as you lengthen that back leg towards the back of the mat. Again, just finding that sweet spot where you feel resistance in the hip or thigh or both. No pinching in the knee, hip or ankle. Take your time now. We'll slowly lift up by walking your hands back in towards you, coming up to all fours. And then you can just stretch that right leg back behind you. Set up the other side, so bring your left knee in behind your left wrist. Sit to the side and bend your back knee. If you're going deer pose, pull the bolster in to track along your shin. And then drape yourself down over your bolster, or if you're going pigeon, you can lift up and pop a block in underneath the hamstring. Stretch that left leg back behind you. Then we're going to spin around to face the back of the mat. Grab your bolster, you're going to curl over onto your right side, pull the bolster in and cuddle it in. And just have your hands out from your shoulders, and then leave your lower body where it is, and take your left arm back across your body for a twist. You can push into the back of your head to lift and shift your shoulder blades underneath you. Maybe even turn your head the opposite way from your legs. Just a supine twist for the last little bit of the sequence class. Last chance to just rinse out, release the body. Left arm back across, cuddle the bolster in on your side. Just allow sensation to fade away. And when you're ready, cuddle the bolster and roll across to the other side. You can lift and adjust so that you're in the center of the mat. And then this time it's your right arm that will go back across to the other side, leaving your legs heavy on the left. Pushing into the back of your head to lift and slide your shoulder blades in underneath you. So your chest can face the ceiling, but your hips are twisting to the side. Cuddle the bolster in one last time. Over onto your back. Set up Shavasana. You can have a bolster under your head or under your legs. If you have two, you can go both. If you prefer, you can go neither. Lay flat on your mat. Just adjust where you need to. If you want to add layers to be warmer, you can. Close the eyes down, lay back. Tune into the rise and fall of your breath. And we're just going to do one tension release breath. So you're going to breathe in, squeeze your hands, scrunch your toes, clench your jaw, screw up your face, squeeze your bum. And then as you exhale, release. rise and fall of your breath and the sensation